The hell was that?
Tim and Joel Pod talking about wrestling. My cat licked my earbuds real good. Got them nice and moist for me immediately before the show. I didn't know that would be as unpleasant as it is, but boy howdy, that's unpleasant.
You called me up to start, to connect and get this thing started, and all of a sudden you're like, oh my god, and I was like, am I too loud? Like, are your ears at 100%? And then you started saying, oh, my cat's licked my headphones.
So gross. I didn't know cats produced that much saliva. Their tongues are usually sandpapery, but anyway, I'm just not going to touch them because you grow accustomed to it. It's like when you get in water, you get used to it. It's just when you get in and out, it sucks. Anyway.
I mean, listen, every once in a while you get accustomed to something and you got to let it go, but don't let us go just yet. Go ahead, toss a like on the video if you're watching us on YouTube. If you got us on the podcast platforms, go ahead, toss us 5-star review. That would be huge. You have no idea how amazing that gets us closer and closer to getting into your friends' ears talking about more wrestling, because that's what we're here for. We want to talk wrestling with the friends, talk about your cats, talk about your pets, talk about your Thunderdome, but the Thunderdome is dead! And it feels good, baby.
Burn it with fire.
They didn't do it last night. They just tossed couches around instead.
I know. Well, you know what? Whatever. We still got Friday, right? They can't do that.
No, Friday's live.
Friday's live!
Friday's the first one.
You're right.
Fans.
That was the last SmackDown. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That is good. You know what? No more of this. No more of that. No more of this. Some of that. I'm glad that, well, for the audio, you're looking up my nose. You're looking deep into my eyes, and just terrible angles all around.
Do you have any favorite memories of weird things in the Thunderdome that weren't someone with an OBS camera showing footage of the clan marches or a Chris Benoit interview? Do you have any actual
missed
people?
Those ones. I saw some political statements. I saw some anti-Velveteen Dream stuff. I liked the Pikachus and the teddy bears.
My favorite one was always, then it was inevitable because it always happened. Every single week, without fail, there was someone lying in bed with their phone kind of like this.
That was half of the audience.
I know, as they fell asleep in the Thunderdome watching Raw, and it was or SmackDown, and it would be one of my favorite things every week to try and point out that weird person who would be like, oh, this would be nice things to fall asleep to. Let's try this.
Oh man, I don't know. 50% of the audience was weird people at any given time, so it just became the norm. You know what? I totally just stopped seeing it after a certain point in time, right? It was just there, and I never thought of it. I never looked at it. It was solely in the background, and my eyes never fixated on it after the honeymoon phase of it wore off. It just receded to nothing.
You're right. It just kind of became part of the atmosphere. WWE did a fairly good job at making you just forget about what was behind you. They did put the emphasis on the wrestlers.
The thing is, I think that they think that it justified them piping in the crowd noise, and that never receded awful. For me. That was always, there's no audience, and this is some fake noise.
They got egregiously bad with it last night too, when Drew McIntyre was giving his promo. And he was talking about Icarus flying too close to the sun. They pressed the pop button at two specific moments.
Icarus! Yeah, I know that one!
They did the Thunderdome pop for the whole fire-breathing dragon line and then the Scottish beef. And I'm like, why are those the lines you go to? I don't get it. It was weird. It was good.
I don't know.
I'm putting in the work every day, friends, in the chat. By the way, if you've got a favorite moment from the Thunderdome that's not when it ended, tell us here in the chat, or if you're watching us after the fact, leave it in the comments. I'd love to hear your favorite moment of the Thunderdome if you've got one when it comes to the weird fan zone parts of the Thunderdome. Anyway, let's talk about Raw.
Speaking of putting in work, Kofi Kingston putting in work. He's on that grind culture, and screw that grind culture, but whatever. Bobby Lashley's now also on that grind culture.
I was I was really happy for him to give like that fiery babyface promo in the middle of the night, talking about like what a WWE champion should be. And that's kind of been the same. It's been the same thing for the last couple of weeks, and I get that. But at least it's like staunchly different from what Lashley had been, and what later on in the night, how Lashley would end the show was beyond expectations. Very much enjoyed it.
It worked. Like this whole arc has been good. The way that they got here was a smooth transition between champions. They shifted Drew off, and it was not bad at all. Like I'm not a super big fan of his current feud, but like the transition was nice. And the transition for Kofi in was really nice as well, because they set it up with MVP talking to him a little bit. And it was just kind of a background simmering thing for a little while, and then it naturally turned into the main event. When they do this well, it does super duper well. Like it was impressive.
Yes.
And we complained so much, so I want to give them their due on that, because they've done a good job. And it like Kofi's words ultimately being the ones that get to Bobby Lashley versus MVP getting to Kofi. I really, really enjoy that. And it works really well with the heel face dynamic. Like I think they did a tremendous job setting this match up.
Now, Lashley and Xavier Woods obviously open the night, and they ask the question, is Lashley soft? Is Lashley soft? He loses the match, and then he runs away. By the way, he loses with a small package. So if Lashley is soft,
one of the strongest moves in all of wrestling. The second only to the roll up. So
I know, but if you're gonna, but if your champion is soft, and he's gonna lose, and he's got a small package, then maybe he's got to toughen up. And anyway, it's a dick joke. So let's move along. So MVP tries to spin this whole thing when Bobby Lashley leaves. He's like, he'll be on the VIP lounge tonight. He's ready. And so we talked about Kofi. He did the promo, did the thing, and then they close the show with VIP lounge. And like Lashley comes out. First of all, I thought Lashley was coming out with a 6-pack in his hand, but then I'm like, nope, that's the WWE Championship. Yeah, so I thought maybe he's drunk. But then it turned out, no, Lashley had just murdered a guy. He's coming back from having, murdered a guy.
He's drunk on rage.
That's right. And now he's serious. And the promo was so good. And it was that good heel shit. And you know what he didn't do? He didn't turn on MVP. All he had to tell MVP was, what you did worked. Now we're going to do what won me that title. And we're going to keep that title at Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
All he needed to do.
Yeah, it was good. And it came at like the right time. I'm tired of this shtick. We need a different thing for Lashley. So he did a great job. They did a great transition with it. And like you said, not just turning on him and be like, no, man, that's fine. I'm just done with this specific shit. And then he chucks everything out of the ring.
Exactly. So
Lashley, like, no, it's fine. I'm throwing it out of the ring, but we're doing some other stuff.
We're gonna do our Money in the Bank and our Slammiversary. Oh no, I guess we can't do Slammiversary picks because the show's on Saturday. We'll do our Money in the Bank picks on SmackPack on Sunday, and we'll talk about Slammiversary on Sunday as well on SmackPack noon Eastern. We'll get there. But anyway, Lashley's gonna murder Kofi at Money in the Bank, right? And we're all just gonna we're gonna watch it in horror, right?
Yeah, I expect that to happen. I expect it to be grisly. He needs to dominate, and I think it'll be good. Like when I say dominate, Kofi's going to get in plenty of offense. There's going to be a lot of hope moments, but he's going to lose decisively. My opinion.
Okay. That's fine. Your opinion is well respected here. So let's talk about Ricochet, John Morrison, a Falls Count Anywhere match. I'm really happy that they did a finish to this match. Again, I was kind of saying, watch, they're going to do it, stupidly. And do a non-finish, have Miz, whatever. But you know what? At the beginning, I loved there was an outside pin attempt where Miz was holding Morrison's feet on the wheelchair as he rolled up Ricochet. I like that. It was good little things like that. And then, of course, they kept the flipping and the flopping. And I guess they got to go over the barricade at least once or twice more times because you can't do that anymore.
That was pretty good. It was a great match. That floor pin attempt with the wheelchair also knocked down all of the drip stick elements, which took them out of the equation. Good job, Ricochet. But the match overall was very, 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 very good. It's good to see Ricochet just doing the stuff that he's good at. And his promo with Dumbass Riddle was not as horrible as him opening his mouth was the last several times. So kudos to that.
Somehow, I don't know how, don't know what happened, don't know who could have done it, no idea what happened. Miz wound up on his back like a turtle. Poor Miz, right? I guess he just kind of tipped over in his wheelchair. Don't know how it happened. Just kind of happened.
That rough knee, man. You know what?
Yeah. So he couldn't get up. Anyway, so Ricochet dives onto the ladder because he's dumb and Money in the Bank is coming up, but he still wins the match. But guess what? He got momentum, Tim.
Yeah, he did. He sure did get momentum, and probably some bumps and bruises to go into this very important match.
Save momentum through a broken ladder and a lot of busted
maybe,
up.
Maybe a cracked
pain.
rib. Like there was a lot of brutal looking stuff in that match.
It's very funny that like these two are going to be of the more athletic people in Money in the Bank. They're going to do the flipping and the flying, and it's going to be great. Like that's why they're in the match. But I'm wondering, like, for the last 3 weeks, we've been watching them do these spots and do these big high spot moments. What can they do at Money in the Bank now that they're, pulling out all the stops before then? And two, are they kind of giving us a little too much the last few weeks?
I don't think so. And that's because I think that both Ricochet and John Morrison both believe they're at the absolute pinnacle of their game right now. And they haven't been given a ton of opportunities to really prove that. So I think that they just want to do that. So I think it's more on them who put together these things. I don't know who produced these matches, but they've done a really good job working with them. But I think the two of them were just like, we're being given a shot here, and the two of us can like really take this and run. So let's risk it, because they're not going to get a ton more chances after this, right? They're not like the youngest guys on the roster, but they are at possibly their peak. So I think that they really just wanted to take a run at it and, put all their, all in, right? Chips on the table. They're going to try to do what they can. And they probably still have a bunch of spots set up for the actual match because they'll have more ladders and more people to play with. So different levels.
Well, we've got two swords to play with because Jinder took the sword, chopped up the sword, but it wasn't actually the sword. Turns out Drew McIntyre had the actual sword all along.
Which looked very much like the other sword, to the point where it's like, what does it even matter which sword it is? Just keep buying a bunch of replicas. He didn't use the sword, which is what I thought. He put it down. Like he didn't.
I thought he'd slash the tires.
Like
I don't
at
know
least
why he
just
didn't
stab it into the tires. Like
would have been so much easier. But meanwhile, you've got $100 worth of damage to Jinder's bike instead.
Yeah, and
a new toy for WWE Shop to put out.
That the replica sword, like, part of me, I knew there was something suspicious underneath that cowl or whatever it is. I was really hoping it just Raw being the perpetual toxic masculinity that it is. I was hoping that it was just gonna be spray painted like Hello Kitty or something, but branding. Instead, they just
nunchucks.
Disassembled it. That'd be funny. Turn your sword into nunchucks. That's the weirdest shit.
Tyler Bate. Anyway, it was an NXT UK callback that absolutely no one understands because no one watches NXT UK.
I remember the nunchucks. It's just okay.
Every wrestler needs nunchucks. That's how I feel. Dewdrop and Eva Marie. I think every wrestler needs Eva Marie. No, you know what? I think every wrestler needs acting lessons because this was real bad.
Piper was doing okay.
Actually, quite funny.
Yeah. Her and Alexa have a good dynamic. They're actually doing okay, and it's just it makes what's happening so much worse because of the contrast.
They're doing the playground thing, and Eva's just rattling off the most canned lines as if she doesn't know what's going on. But what makes it even funnier to me is that this was a taped episode of Raw.
All the opportunities in the world to get it right.
It's that episode of The Simpsons where they're doing the film contest, and Mr. Burns, they show the Burns of all times, Burns for all times, and he gets dragged off by the horse, and he says, "We took 97 takes, and that was the best one." That's how I envisioned the truck with Vince and Kevin Dunn, and Kevin Dunn just being like, "That was the best one, man.
It's not going to get any better, is it?" Yeah, like
Vince is just like, "God damn it, fine. Give her the world title next week. That'll teach her."
Like I don't get what they even see in her. I really don't. Look at me. I'm the star of the show.
It was so awkward.
Like
it was really awkward, and I was very much expecting better because she comes in and she had these great promos that of course she shot 1 billion times. And she has the quote unquote acting experience.
Right? Like what is this? What is that crap? Like what is her strange entire character? She can't mentor anyone on any front.
So we go to fast forward. We get to a 4-way match for momentum, of course. Asuka, Alexa, Naomi, and Nikki Ash Have a good match, especially at the end when it's just counters going into the finish. I liked it. Nikki gets the roll up on Asuka. Asuka loses another match. Cool by me. Mid-match, Doudrop again. She starts joking around with Alexa Bliss. I liked it because it was
they were good. They have chemistry.
Awkward. It was so awkward and so funny. And
I like how they're playing this.
I like how they're playing this Doudrop character. Because we had predicted it was going to go a certain way, and it's not quite that. I had complained initially that they were at odds from the get-go, but like I actually like it. I think it's a funny dynamic. It just sucks that Eva Marie can't act, but like Doudrop, it's creating for interesting moments where Doudrop's just like, I know, anyway, it's okay.
Like, she's kind of like, it's a take on the just happy to be here, but instead of being just happy to be here, she's like, listen, I know she's my meal ticket. I know she's bringing me in. I know what I'm doing. Like, I can't do anything else. I can't.
It's like, and she's like, Doudrop, Deuce. It's like, okay, fine. Slap. Like,
yeah, this is like I'm paying my dues until I can, go away from you. So Eva Marie like takes off her shoe and starts whipping it around because she's scared by scary yelling girl.
This is designer. Don't make me do it. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And then Doudrop takes up Alexa Bliss, puts her in the fireman's carry, tosses her over the barricade because that's what you can do until next week, and she disappears.
She gone.
She gone. Where'd she go? Where do you think she went? She hopped in the car. She went to Burger King. Got herself a nice chicken sandwich.
Man. No, there's no such thing as a nice chicken sandwich from Burger King.
Apparently the Chiking's quite good.
The Chiking?
Yeah.
It sounds like a gross play on cha-ching, where they've cut the right amount of costs to give you the perfectly efficient piece of garbage chicken. Anyway, whatever.
It's the King because they're Burger King, and then CH because it's chicken, but it's Chiking, and it's big.
They sell like 20 nuggets for three Canadian dollars. I can't complain. It's fine.
See?
It's chicken tasteful.
So Alexa Bliss is out of the match. She went to Burger King, got herself a Chiking, and then, like I said, Naomi loses the match. Asuka loses the match. Nikki Ash wins the match. Perfect.
Yep. That's something. All right.
That's momentum. Let's talk about more momentum. AJ and Ivar and Eric and Omos.
Half and half.
They literally 50-50'd momentum, and I love it here.
I don't mind it here. It's fine.
Omos wasn't going to lose. Omos was not going to lose. Let's face it.
You know what? I like that they let Ivar beat AJ.
Yeah, it's
by
fine.
just sitting on him. By just sitting on him. It's great.
When AJ did that whole, I'm going to break Ivar's leg with the calf crusher, I was like, okay, fine. Sure. So, who knows? Regardless, good match. The first one. The Omos match with Eric, I was kind of, whatever. I knew what was happening.
Yeah.
I didn't expect Sheamus to absolutely destroy Humberto Carrillo backstage. He's got a black mask now, which I find very interesting. Didn't know what to think about that one, but looks good. He's a bad guy, Tim. Does the
he looks like the Lone Ranger's mask. That's what it looks like.
That's a good one. Zorro. He's Zorro. Sheamus is Zorro. Everybody get that out there.
Shoro.
Yeah.
He's Irish, not Scottish.
Shoro. That's what's his name? Come on, give me
Connery.
Sean Connery.
I was trying for Connery, who's Scottish,
there you go.
not Irish. Let's get Drew.
They're all the same. Bite me. Damian Priest does the stare down with Sheamus, and we were calling this one for months. It was the Damian Priest in the U.S. Championship. So when
he's
do we
back
do it?
on TV. He's defender of all Spanish speakers.
Why? Yeah, he's like everybody's friend. It's kind of fun.
If they speak Spanish, they're friends with Damian Priest.
Good, that's fine. So Priest comes out and saves his new best buddy Humberto Carrillo after getting the shit knocked out of him. Good stuff. Why didn't we do this immediately after WrestleMania? Or even at least in May?
Why did we wait? They wanted to pretend like they were going to do something with Humberto.
I guess. Priest was injured. He had a back injury after WrestleMania. Going into it, that's fine.
Yep.
I just wish it had happened sooner, or at least that Priest hadn't been off TV entirely. I just wish there had been a little bit more reminding us that Damian Priest is a character. So,
whatever. He's here now. Be grateful.
I wonder if they'll run the match on Monday just to pop the live crowd, because it'll be the first live Raw crowd. Would they do that? Would they have the title match and do the title change?
Ooh, maybe. Quite possibly. Sheamus doesn't need the title, right?
I don't think he does. I think he's ready to move on to something else.
Yeah.
If by some way Kofi Kingston is the WWE champion at the end of Money in the Bank or after their match, and he's not cashed in on, Sheamus and Kofi would be a pretty serviceable first feud. Let Sheamus lose, develop Kofi a little bit right off the bat. Whoever Money in the Bank winner is, well, we'll get to that later. That's a way to do it. Anyway, Rhea, Natty, let's talk about it. Do we want it?
Good match. I actually liked the match part. The other stuff, did too. I have other feelings, but the match part was good.
I like that pre-match. Natty and Tamina are in the back, and they're like, "We're gonna be the first women's tag team to hold the women's title and the tag titles at the same time," and everyone's just like, "There's an entire pandemic."
I mean, they weren't on TV for most of that, so there's that, I guess.
they were there. They were there.
Were they? Oh my god!
Yes, they were there.
Oh, they're just so forgettable.
I'm willing, and again, like they push Mandy and Dana around very hard. Except they're not going to pay off this angle now because remember, like they taped Raw, and this was before Bayley got injured, and they had the call-ups with Schnotsky, and now they're going to do Schnoxy winning the women's tag titles on Friday. I think.
Maybe not 100% sold on that, but probably.
I feel like they're just going to run it because, let's face it, Schnoxy, they won on their first night in. They defeated the champs. Now they got to run that stupid thing back. Do they 50-50 them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fine.
There you go.
The match, like you said, so the one-on-one match with Rhea and Natty was fine. There was, I like the knocking out Tamina with that drop kick on the outside. That was cool. The kick to the head before the Riptide was really good, and then out comes Chop Block and Charlotte, and we're off to the races. I did like Rhea Ripley biting the rope in pain when the figure four was going on the ring apron. That was cool.
Yeah, that was a good spot. I like
the ropes
that.
are dirty though.
Yes, it's a lot of calf sweat.
Calf
armpit sweat too. People like getting there,
Yeah, if you're Rey Mysterio, he springs off the second rope, so maybe that,
Yeah.
Oh, kind of gross. Anyway, that's Raw. There wasn't really like a ton more that went on that was worth talking about. Was there anything from your recollection that really did it? Yeah, it's kind of how I feel too.
Yeah, no, that was about it. Just,
well, Money in the Bank's this Sunday, so that'll be fun. It'll be a good show. I'm not exactly, I'm not hyped yet. I feel like by Friday, by the end of SmackDown, I will be. Fans will be there, and get people talking.
I'm hyped for the men's match quite a bit, actually, because of who's in it. But that's like, it's just the pure level of talent in it is intriguing to me. So
Yeah, I agree with that. Let's get into it. So AEW Fyter Fest, night 1, this Wednesday. Not on Friday. They don't do that anymore.
Fyter.
Yes, the Fyter with the Y. Let's go. Christian and Matt Hardy, a feud that is supposedly 23 years in the making, Tim.
Sure. Old man
Why
fight.
not? Finally here. It's been weeks of build. Shout out, congratulations, Matt Hardy and his wife Rebby welcomed their
another one.
4th child. Number 4. A beautiful baby girl. Good luck to them. I'm glad that everyone's healthy. So we're getting weeks of build up. Matt Hardy's gonna have a match with Christian Cage. What are we gonna do? Are we getting closer to the Christian Cage inevitable heel turn?
Heel turn? I don't know. I feel like we still got another month.
Yeah. We're literally a month away from Rampage as we're recording. So I would assume Rampage is either when it happens or just before it happens.
I don't know who he's going to beat up, but he's going to beat up someone who he shouldn't have beat up.
Well, so in this match with Christian and Matt Hardy, I have a feeling Hardy family offices get involved. Jungle Boy is going to come and make the save along with Jurassic Express.
Yeah.
And we'll do a 4-person tag. We'll do an 8-man tag, I should say. That's where I think we're going to get. Yeah. That's what we'll get next, because Christian and Matt Hardy 1-on-1. We'll get a final. We'll get a winner, but we won't get. We'll get a schmoz gang wars, if you will.
Yeah, I don't know. I see Matt winning. He lost his last one. Yeah. So.
Yep. Presumably at 9:30, let's talk about Penelope Ford and Yuka Sakazaki. I think they're trying to build Penelope Ford just like they're trying to build Chris Statlander. So if the two of them eventually meet up, Ford and Statlander in a number 1 contenders match, that works for me. And then next thing you know, whoever gets that gets Britt. Is it the all-out match for Statlander?
Yeah, I think they could build that well. You know, they haven't had their match yet, have they? Like a singles one?
Stylander and Britt.
That's what you're saying.
Yes.
No, I think there's a
you
different
and I-
opponent for Britt still.
You and I did discuss that they would do it not at All Out. They would do it at Full Gear for Statlander and Britt.
Yeah.
So Ford and Statlander at All Out, I don't think they'll do it there. Because then you got a long time until November.
Man, they need more. We can't do Jade. Who does Britt fight?
Yeah, Sakazaki's also a face, so they could be building up Yuka Sakazaki.
Yeah, exactly. They could just have her win here, and they're like, she's first in the division or whatever.
Oh, yeah, and then next week they'll come out with I don't know what the power rankings look like now. They're with the women's division, they do a pretty good job with that. All I want out of this match at the end of the day is more Miro and Penelope Ford interactions. I just want Miro to come out and just be like, "You're not as beautiful as my hot Asian wife, but you look pretty good winning matches." I don't know what that sound is. Was that him? Is that Bulgarian?
I don't know what that was. I think you called Lana Asian.
Oh, that was. Did I say hot Asian wife?
I think you did.
It's very much a Carl Anderson thing.
Yeah, it is. You've been watching too much BT. Were they even on it this week? I didn't watch.
They were not. Wait, they were. No, they were, but it was all the subsidiary stuff. By the way, the best part of BTE this week was actual elite stuff. Everything else, garbage. Weird art house garbage. You might like, actually, they had Ryan Nemeth in an art house film drinking cream and freaking out.
That does sound awesome. Why? Oh, God. The one...
It's not good, but you'll go watch it and you'll enjoy it. Speaking of art house...
it's good. It's Ryan Nemeth. He's delightful.
Anyway, speaking of art house matches, we've got the coffin match. It's Darby Allin and Ethan Page. First of all, you brought this to my attention, ironically, from a Fightful article, which, you think I'd actually have a handle on. No Jackass 4 for Darby, apparently.
Yeah. As I said to you, probably because whatever he pitched was way too fucking lame. Everything he does that is, edgy and dangerous is not dangerous and boring. Except what he does in the ring sometimes. His little videos, I'm gonna get in this body bag and roll on a skateboard down a half pipe. But I just stop in the middle. It's nothing. There's nothing. No one cares.
Woof. He's all of his ideas are probably and then you blow me up. And they just look at him.
But we can't blow you up. What do we do? Put some firecrackers in my pockets. I don't know.
Yeah, I see. Notfest had sent something out, and then Darby retweeted and said, "I ain't in this movie." So whatever. Okay, fine. Get out of the movie.
That's good.
Whatever. Loser. So what happens? The loser has to make art house films with Darby and Sting?
Oh my God! Could you imagine if Ethan Page is just then forced to hang out with Darby Allin? That's such a cruel punishment. I'd rather be dead.
It's got to paint the other half of his face. Meanwhile,
so they got full face. They got full face Sting. They got one half face Ethan and the other half Darby. Oh my God!
Those are your men of the year right there. They have to make a trios because there's all this trios title talk. They have to make a trios team of Sting, Darby, and Ethan Page, and it's 2.5 men.
Oh, what?
The FTW title's on the line because Brian Cage is finally going to defend it against Ricky Starks. Starks is going to stay in FTW. If I put FTW, I meant Team Taz. Is Starks getting the boot, or is he going to stick around with Team Taz? You saw the thing last week on Dynamite with.
It seems like they're doing the good thing that we had said, in that keep the big boys, get rid of Starks, because he could go off on his own. And I think having Lil Taz flanked by 2 enormous dudes, and he who shall not be named, also there.
Cage goes face, though. What are the odds of that? And then Cage going face and going solo. What do you think?
I don't know. No, there's no need. I don't think he's good at that. I'm not rooting for him.
Well, then you could do Hobbs versus Cage. That'd be a nice big powerhouse.
Didn't we already do that?
One-on-one. Do it again. Do it again and do it for real this time.
No.
Because you know what? That frees up the rest of Team Taz to go for the tag titles. And that other half of Team Taz includes Ricky Starks, who sticks around, and Hook. I'm not going to go in. But Hook, buddy, if you're going to make a debut, I'm just telling you, as a tag team, Ricky Starks, you could do much worse. Okay? Team up with Ricky Starks. You two can win the tag titles. I believe in you. Tell me I'm wrong.
It's too handsome of a group. They can't do it.
I think Brian Cage will retain the FTW title, but get kicked out of Team Taz in the process.
Well, then that's Taz's title.
Yeah. Not anymore, it ain't.
Come and take it, old man Taz.
That could be the story. Not that Taz comes and take it, but Hobbs is told, go get my title back.
That's not bad. It's not bad. You know what? Good angles either way. They got them. They got options, which is good. Good writing.
And you have options too if you go ahead and like this video.
You have one option to like and subscribe.
Option.
That is the only option.
I just want y'all to interact with the title. I mean, with us. We are the title. Interact with the video. Do as you please. I don't care if it's thumbs up or down. I prefer the up. Leave a comment even. Subscribe to us if you haven't already. Let's go. IWGP US title on the line. Jon Moxley makes his return to AEW to take on the machine gun, Carl Anderson. Racking up wins on Impact, Carl Anderson. Racking up big dubs so he can take this big ol' L on Wednesday night, Carl Anderson.
What, you don't think that Carl's going to take that belt back to Japan with them?
You think Hot Carl's going to win the IWGP US Championship on the same week that he potentially wins the Impact tag titles?
Yeah, he's going to have both belts, and he's going to go to New Japan. He's going to be like, you know, that thing he does with his music.
Whatever.
No,
I like Carl. I like Carl Anderson as a wrestler. He's very good. I don't expect him to win. And if he does, cool. You got me. Mox is going to come back. It's his first AEW appearance since Double or Nothing when he had the tag title match with Eddie Kingston against the Young Bucks, and he lost. Mox is bald. Be prepared for that.
Eat it, everyone. He's one of us now.
He's one of you. He ain't one of me.
Us, royal we.
Carl Anderson makes sense though. It's the New Japan roots. Like it's there. He made his name in New Japan. Why not have a one-on-one match with Mox? It'll be a really solid match.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
I just don't think the finish is in doubt. Do you think Mox goes back to the Elite versus Indie Pals story that he had before?
I don't know. Is he back? Are we going to see him week in, week out now?
That's a good question. I don't know if we're going to see Mox back.
I'm see, that's the thing. I see him coming and doing this match. I don't know that it means he's back yet, but soon maybe.
Fair enough. Let's get Adam Page is going to speak as well. What do you think he's going to say? Give me
cowboy shit.
Oh, good stuff. Getting all the cowboy shit in. Fine by me. And man, this NXT tonight. We're onward and upwards, going to that August 22nd takeover.
I forgot it was Great American Bash last week.
But you watched it with us.
But that's the thing. And I went to go refresh my memory of some of the NXT stuff today, and I was like, oh yeah, this was last week. This wasn't a regular show, even though it very much felt like a regular show to me.
Start off, the Kross and Gargano face-off was an awkward exchange. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Was it ever going to be anything else?
Fair. I don't understand the daily affirmations that Kross has. Right? He says, I'm gonna hold the NXT title. I'm gonna win the WWE title. I'm gonna headline WrestleMania. That is everyone's shtick. Anyone who comes into WWE, that's the thing they always say in their promos. I want the title and I want to headline WrestleMania. If you're coming into wrestling, if you're coming into WWE, your goal should be the best, headline the biggest shows. Why is Kross any different?
Because he's got no character outside of a cool entrance. They really got to keep working on it. He's starting to put it together, but it's still like razor thin. So they got to keep at it because that's all he's got to say in these promos. He says some toxic masculinity shit like so many of the wrestlers do. That's it. Like he goes in, he's like, I likes to fights. and says some stuff about the other dude.
Very good point talking about toxic masculinity stuff, because he says, you know, Johnny Gargano, you wake up every morning and you put on your wife's jeans.
Yeah, even it says the dude who wears a little skirt. Like,
it's a gladiator outfit.
Whatever. Splitting hairs, none of it matters.
Gargano's reply, though, was perfect. Says, it's funny you say that I wear my wife's pants because you couldn't lace my wife's boots.
Damn right.
Love it.
Eat it.
That's the shit I want. So, next thing you know, we're going to get Kross and Gargano tonight for the NXT title. Special guest referee is Samoa Joe. Now, this brings me to the whole crux of this video, the whole point of the title, this match. What are we doing? Are we getting... Is Joe in the way?
Yes.
Is what I'm saying.
Yes, but I like it. Like, I think it's fine. I think the screenshot we had was, like, choice, right? You got little Gargano in the back.
Oh, yeah.
It's behind Samoa. It's purposeful, right? Like, they're doing it on purpose, and it looks good. I don't mind it at all. The people want Samoa Joe, and having him as this, like, if provoked, special guest referee in there, I think is a nice tip. It's something different. You know what? Like, Gargano's been in the sunshine, like, a little while, and this is going to be a weird match no matter what. I think throwing Joe in the mix makes it really interesting to me.
Do you have a feeling that maybe Gargano, if he was a heel, he would have gotten into it with Joe instead, and it would have been maybe a better setup for those two? Or do you like having Kross be the guy to face with Joe?
I don't mind this. I'd rather, like, I think Kross as an opponent for Joe, like, they're both killers, you know? Like, I'd rather that, because Gargano had been transitioned into this comedy bit not so very long ago, and I think he's doing such a good job with it. It's not, I don't want them to end it. I think that this is a good use of it, really. And like I said, they don't need to build him as a star. Kross still needs building, so, like, he needs to be in there, and I think that Joe is, like, the real face in this situation. We mentioned that Johnny's this weird tweener because he's like a little tattletale nerd, and his wife and Indy are still the heels. So
yeah, it is strange. We talked about it last week on SmackPack that they really have kind of half and half the way in terms of character placement. But you know, after last week's match, for the women for the way, they dropped the tag titles. Now they can turn as well.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, I know.
So that's kind of where my brain might go now, is that they're going to try and turn all the way instead. I don't know if we're getting Joe and Kross. I don't think that's where
I don't think you're going to see them wrestle a match, which I'm fine with. I think this is their way of doing that without doing that, you know?
But I do like the idea of Joe making the reluctant 3 count for Kross tonight. And just teasing that a little bit more. Now, the WWE draft is apparently not happening in August. It's been bumped.
Yeah.
So it's going to happen supposedly now, spoilers for those who care, in October. One of the dates for sure is October 4th, which means that it's either the 1st and 4th or the 4th and 10th, which means our idea to have Kross drop the NXT title and then declare for the draft kind of just went out the window.
Yeah, it doesn't work. Not here.
So
they might just pull him up because, again, with what they did with all those women, I don't know. Maybe Vince is just being like, nah, figure it out. I'll give you, because he's holding the title, I'll let you figure this one out, but the other ones I'm just taking. So I don't know.
Well, they were much more disarray on SmackDown after Bayley went down. Yeah. I mean, do you have him drop the title later? Do you have Kross have a longer title reign? Will it help to build him? We're talking about the idea that Kross needs a little more character development in NXT. Would it help for him to stick around for a little bit longer?
Yeah, in my opinion, I think he needs a little longer gestation. He's not fully formed yet. You know, not that that's even what NXT does anymore, but, like, I think he'd be better suited there because he can just keep fighting challengers, and, you know, new people might come in and into the rotation that are a good match for him to help develop that. Feel like I haven't seen Scarlett in a week or two, which is kind of odd, but
last week she didn't come out because both men agreed.
Yeah,
no one would come out with anyone, and they both adhered to that, which I like that. I think that was a good approach.
100%.
When it comes to Scarlett and Kross, like, they are 100% should be up together. I don't like splitting them up. But I
mean,
will
she
push
needs
back.
that entrance. It's the best thing about him.
Right, it's true. I will push back that NXT hasn't been a place for wrestlers to hone their craft. I disagree. I think many of them hone their craft. It's when they get up to the main roster that things completely change,
Yeah.
and they're tossed into a completely different character, different
That's
expectations.
fair. Yeah.
If anything, there's just a disconnect between the two brands, because there is a chance to put a character together in NXT, but what happens to that character when Vince gets a hold of it is completely different. And
You
that tosses
become
everything.
every Spanish person's best buddy, or you're not on TV at all.
That's right, despite being Puerto Rican and not just anyway. So I mean, listen, if the draft is later, Cross could drop it later. I see in the chat talking about dropping it to Kyle O'Reilly at Halloween Havoc. Halloween Havoc is late. It's almost too late. That's the end of October.
Yeah, that might be too. What's the next, like, is that the next takeover? Really?
No, there most likely will be one.
SummerSlam, right?
Yeah, but then it's SummerSlam takeover, and then there's nothing potentially till October. But Halloween Havoc would be a special, a TV special.
Damn. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough.
If it's August.
I'd say they just
drop
like a regular drop, and he just gets called up.
Yeah, it could just be a TV drop. It could happen tonight. Who knows?
It could.
Because Cole Kyle and Adam Cole had a hell of a match at Great American Bash, and they're tied at 2, my friend. This is where we get back onto the Cross thing. Kyle O'Reilly, let's say he wins the NXT Championship. The rubber match becomes NXT title versus NXT career. But now it can't be in August. Now it's got to be near to the draft. This is the problem with moving the draft and moving the goalposts, is that a lot of the ideas we have or we're talking about just completely changed on a dime.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with this. It feels like they're so, like, they've done so much already. Like, where do we go? They done? They just done? Everything's even?
No, they're going to have another. You know they are. And it's going to be this plane ain't big enough for the both of us.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Well, it wasn't big enough for MSK, Tommy, and Timmy. Whew, that was their opening match. Hot match. Lots of action. MSK retains the titles. To a lot of shock. A lot of people thought Tommy and Timmy were going to get it, including that Full Sail, or not Full Sail, the CWC crowd. Oh, man. Triple H
they
has
don't
MSK.
like MSK. I don't
They
get
don't.
it.
But Triple H wants MSK to be these hot, up-and-coming baby faces, but the crowd is saying otherwise. Why? What
is it that they don't like... No, I mean, I would say, is it that they don't like MSK? But no, they resoundingly don't like MSK. They keep booing them no matter who they face. Like, it's not that Tommy and Timmy are so over. Like, they just don't like MSK. And I, for the life of me, don't know why. Like, because one guy was sad about his dad. Like, that's the only real personal information you got. Why are you so angry? Like...
Yeah, I mean, we did predictions on our Discord channel, and everyone went for Tommy and Timmy, and everyone was wrong.
Yep.
It was just everyone expected MSK to drop and then chase, and that would rebuild them as the hot baby faces, but that's not what we're doing. I think they just see them as cocky and cocky heels.
I mean, but they're so good. They're delivering. So I don't know. Like, who? Because Tommy and Timmy ain't cocky? Like, what?
I think they just like Tommy and Timmy because they're gritty and they're more entertaining. At least they have been in promo.
Yeah, they've been around longer.
So what's next for Tommy and Timmy? What do you think? What do we do?
I don't know now. Like, I thought that this would, if they're going to keep doing this, they're going to have the titles, but...
Yeah, it's true. You can't split them up again. Or maybe you do MSK Tommy and Timmy one more time, put them in the fight pit and have that be a tag team fight pit match.
Could be, yeah. That wouldn't be terrible.
It's an interesting idea. They haven't done it, and WWE loves doing first time ever alerts. That might be it. Who knows?
They have to earn it. They got to fight back, though. So they got to beat all the other ones, I think.
Tommy and Timmy versus Imperium. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Beat the shit out of each other. And then maybe Timmy joins Imperium afterwards. But anyway. Io Shirai and Zoe Stark are the new NXT Women's Tag Team Champions, because God forbid the tag team titles stay on one set of women for more than 60 days.
No defenses for the way.
Oh man! So the battery is charged.
I mean, I don't. That's how things go half the time in real fighting too. Like, I don't know. It's fine.
You're only as good as your last fight. Am I right?
And they lost. A little distractoroonie from Knox.
Yes, Tegan Knox, as she was last week.
Yeah.
Cost away the titles. Sure, the match was good. The finish was god awful. Did not like it. Now Knox goes to SmackDown. So there's that. She ain't coming back.
Yeah. I don't like Io Shirai. I like both Io Shirai and Zoe Stark individually. I don't really know why I'm supposed to care about them as a tag team. It seems ill-fitting. I don't know.
I think you're just supposed to like them the way they are.
Individually.
Yeah. Shotzi joins Nox. Ember Moon does not have a tag team partner anymore. Poor
Nope.
Ember Moon.
Who will she howl at things with?
Well, it's not going to be with Dakota Kai because those two have a match tonight on NXT. What's next for Ember Moon? Who will she howl with next? Who do you think?
I don't know. Maybe she just doesn't get re-signed. And does
that's
else.
awful.
Whatever. If she depends what she wants to do, because if this is it, this is it. I don't know.
I think if Ember Moon's going to stick around, maybe put her with Cora Jade. Cora was the other kind of. She's young, first of all, and she was the one who carried around the little coffin box. Elena Black was her indie name. She's been around for a little bit. She teamed with Gigi Dolan.
Got it. Okay, yeah. That one. And then disappeared.
Yeah, she had one match, and it was just a quick, squash match. Ember Moon and Cora Jade would work because you've got the Gothy girl and Ember Moon. It would basically be like rebooting Shotzi.
Yeah, I think that's
a younger version.
They need tag teams, so do it up.
Meanwhile, Toni Storm is going to SmackDown. We talked about this. Storm says no to Saray, and then in walks the aforementioned Gigi Dolan.
Yeah.
So tonight it's going to be Saray and Gigi Dolan in a match, and I'm happy to see that because Dolan steps up, and now we grow the women's division even further.
Love it. Yeah, and that's the right call because she's so far I think one of the more interesting people to step in there right now. So I think they need to build her.
Speaking of things to be built, Hit Row's championship cipher. Hose you down?
That was so good.
It was really good.
It was really gritty. Like, their jobs aren't rapper. They're professional wrestlers who also rap. But like it felt real. It was good. It was very good. It was gritty. I was surprised. Like it well-produced music for once in WWE. Swerve
has bars. Do we agree?
Yeah.
Very good. I was very happy with Swerve.
Yeah.
It's very good. But you know what? Tonight we got Santos Escobar taking on Dexter Lumis, and I bring it up because it's only a matter of time before Legado del Fantasma and Hit Row start having a little bit more interaction, a little more 3-on-3 and 1-on-1. It's time. It's time for Hit Row and Legado del Fantasma. But is it time for Dexter Lumis to start hitting the road, finish up, move up to the main roster away from NXT?
I don't know what the plan is with him. Again, the second he goes to the main roster, he will be treated like the boogeyman until he retires. So I need no great rush.
I've said it once and I'll say it again. You picture it. Elias in the ring doing his concert. Just so much heat. In the crowd. On a podium. They pan out. It's Dexter Lumis. And he's drawing Elias. And Elias is like, what the hell are you doing? And then they show it up on the big screen, and it's Elias. It's a caricature of Elias. And it's just a creepy Lumis introduction, a Lumis versus Elias. Works
That's a great feud. Then what? Then what? That's the thing. He'll get one feud.
And yeah, that's fine. They'll figure that shit out. That's their own thing to ruin. I'm not the writer. I'm just the guy who comes up with the debut ideas.
Well, it's a good debut. I'll give you that. And I like me some Elias. So do it up.
And yes, they do have to finish the Lumis and Index storyline. That's the Indy and Lumis.
I don't know how you've been that. Like
they kiss and get married, and then Legado del Fantasma takes over.
Yeah, like okay.
But you know who should be the officiant for their wedding? It's Cameron Grimes, because he'll be a butler now. LA Knight, Cameron Grimes had themselves $1 million championship match. Okay, first of all, match was fine, but I did like the spot. I did like the spot. They had the belt brought in, and then the referee stops it. He throws the belt outside, and what happens next? They do this DDT on the floor spot, and the belt was right there.
Very well done. Very
happy with that. I really enjoyed it. Grimes is a butler, and those vignettes will be perfect.
So funny. Like, I don't know. It's going to be good. The $1 million belt being held up by the ref looked like the saddest thing in the world.
Really,
it was so teeny tiny. Yeah,
it's so small. I don't like why.
Costs a lot for those diamonds.
Something like that. For those who are going to watch 205 Live, and I recommend it this week, Guru Raj takes on Asher Hale, Ari Sterling takes on Grayson Waller, and I say it because the official breakout tournament participants include neither of these men. We were so far off, and I'm so unhappy. Carmelo Hayes, Trey Baxter, Andre Chase, a.k.a. Lin-Manuel Miranda, Josh Briggs, who is a former Evolve champion, Ikemen Jiro, who's in action tonight, by the way. Better wear his watermelon jacket. I want that. Joe Gacy, a.k.a. Dollar Store Aleister Black. You thank me later. Odyssey Jones, who I don't know if you saw this. We'll get to it in a second. And Duke Hudson, a.k.a. Brendan Burke. Did you see the Odyssey Jones thing from Cage Side Seats?
Yes.
Some dickhead writes an article and says
Mark Henry crap.
Costs nothing to be not racist. Just get an editor that understands this shit. That was so stupid.
Yeah, it is dumb. His ring gear was pretty goofy.
Well, looked a lot like Mark Henry. Anyway, Ikemen Jiro takes on Duke Hudson tonight. I sent you that Duke Hudson promo, and I tweeted it too. I loved it. What did you think of the Duke Hudson promo?
I didn't get to watch it because I was in the hardware store and I saw it while I was driving. Andre Chase looks a whole lot like Lin-Manuel Miranda. You are not wrong.
Thank you.
Also, I remember asking but buffer, right? Not really. So this is the cocky guy, right? That's the one that you sent the promo for, the guy who was described as just like an arrogant guy.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. What's he do? Break it down for me.
So he says, I was going to be in the 2019 tournament, in the last one, but it was on Wednesdays. And he says, I play poker on Wednesdays. So I says to Mr. Regal, I says, and those were his words. So I says to Mr. Regal, I says, and I'm like, I'm sold. So then I says to Mabel, I says, he says, he said he's the reason that NXT got moved to Tuesdays so that he could participate in this fucking tournament.
All right. Yeah, this is a good start.
Stu Hudson's just a giant piece of shit, and I love it. And he's going to take on Ikemen Jiro, and he's probably going to win because if Duke Hudson doesn't go at least to the finals, I don't know what we're doing here.
It felt like they spent like some careful attention when they zoomed in on him when they were announcing the participants too. So I got a vibe,
Yeah, Duke and Carmelo Hayes in the final. I would be okay with that. And then finally tonight we've got the Diamond Mines Tyler Russ taking on Bobby Fish. Bobby Fish walked up, accepted the challenge. I guess he stepped away from the heavy bag that he was punching for months on end in an undisclosed area, trying to get the cops' heat off of him after January 6th, just trying to stay low, stay safe. Diamond Mine is all about that payday, but Kushida's got to come back, right?
Should.
Eventually.
Kick some butt, get some vengeance.
Where is Kushida?
I don't know. Biding his time.
You think so?
Yeah, he's charging up.
You think he's the battery charge?
No.
They're going to restart. They're going to restart the battery.
Well, I mean, they might as well. That one went nowhere.
Could you imagine? They're like, let's just redo it. Let's just try it again.
Just run it back. It was a good idea, but didn't get to do anything with it.
I don't mind the idea of doing Roderick Strong versus Bobby Fish. I mean, it's inevitable at this point.
Yeah.
Two former
if you're going to break up a faction that long standing, you might as well do it.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's going to be a good night of NXT. I have a good feeling about this. Very good feeling about this. And apparently, again, we're hearing NXT is doing a special TV taping next Wednesday along with the regular Tuesday episode. So they could be taping a week ahead for once. Wonder what that could mean. Think about it, friends.
I'm curious.
Until then, we got 5 minutes until NXT starts. If you're watching us live on YouTube and you haven't left a thumbs up, do it now. Do it now, please, and thank you.
Do it.
Get it. Where can the kids find you on the internet, my friend?
They can find me at TimStoneP, TIMBSTONEP.
Hey, that rhymed. Good on you.
Yeah.
The show is at Tim and Joel Pod. We're not hard to find, friends. I am at Joel Pearl, also not hard to find. I'm doing a ton of shit this week, including the Fightful post show on Friday after SmackDown. I host the weekly Impact watch-alongs. That's on Thursday. Also Fightful Twitch. Then there's 2 watch-alongs this week in the Slammiversary and Money in the Bank. A lot of us just sitting around watching wrestling. Tim might join us if he can, right? That's your formal, informal invitation. Until then, ladies, gentlemen, friends beyond the binary, we'll see you on SmackPack on Sunday for Money in the Bank preview. Cheers.